What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the 31 Days of Horror. I am your host, Mood616, and thank you once again for stopping in, guys. Yes, day 29 is here, and we've got a film that I absolutely needed to revisit. I hadn't watched this film in a few years anyways, and it's a Canadian flick from 1982, and I think a lot of people don't even associate this film with Canada for some reason. You never see it on, great Canadian horror lists and things like that, which is kind of a shame. But it's a little bit forgotten because it doesn't have a re-release. This DVD is long out of print from Anchor Bay, and it really does need a re-release sometime in the future. But without further ado, film in question here is called Superstition. Yeah, from 1982. This movie, oddly enough, got released in the US in 1985. It had a media release before that, and then it hit the theaters after it had a media release, which is very strange because we all know that usually doesn't happen. Things don't come out on video or DVD, Blu-ray, whatever, and then get a theatrical release. That's very strange, but this one did for some odd reason. I don't know, there must have been some type of weird things going on with the film. Who really knows? But get into the premise of this one. Basically, this one is about a priest who moves his family into this house. It's been vacant for quite a long time due to the fact that it's got some pretty tragic history. It seems that everybody that moves into this house meets their bloody and untimely deaths. So basically what the backstory is here is that there was a witch that was drowned on this property in the late 1600s, and she was in leagues with the devil, and she vowed that anybody that comes near this property is going to meet their violent deaths, and that's ultimately what's been happening over the time here. So now it's up to this young priest who's part of this congregation and this police officer to kind of figure out and put the kibosh down on all these supernatural events that are happening around this property and stuff. So that is the story of the film. Now my thoughts on this one. I've always been a really big fan of this film. Now this film right here is really cool, man, because it's like a witch film. It's like a haunted house film in a way. Kind of plays out like a slasher. It's got all those type of elements going on, and one of the coolest things about the film is that it plays itself straightforward. There's like no comedy in this film. It just takes itself way too serious, which is totally awesome because it actually does work for the film because they do a lot of really good things in this one. Yeah, and it's just a nasty, vicious, bloody, gory affair too. That's one thing I love about this film. It pulls no punches. The kills in this one are very they're just hardcore. It doesn't pull anything. It kills people off in very, kind of creative ways and very bloody ways and stuff, which I love about this film, man. But getting into the characters of the film, the film is actually acted quite well for what it is, but it's kind of strange though too, because like the main characters, the main focus isn't necessarily on the family that moves into this house. It's more on the young priest and the cop that are investigating these things and stuff like that. So like the main character, or the people that move into this house, are kind of like the secondary characters. So you don't actually get to know a whole lot about them. You do know that the priest is an alcoholic and things like that, but you don't get to know much about the kids and stuff. So when people start dying off, you're just like, yeah, they met some pretty nasty, gruesome death, but I didn't really care too much. But ultimately, it kind of works though for the film in itself, but very cool stuff. And I also really like the structure of this film too. Now usually with these type of films, they'll kind of showcase the backstory with the witch in the beginning of the film and then get into the film. But this one, it starts out with some real nasty, fucking gory, brutal deaths. It's awesome scene in like a microwave, and this other one where this dude gets cut in half and shit. It's pretty awesome. But it tells the witch backstory in the middle of the film, which I think I've heard from some people, it kind of takes out of the film a little bit, but maybe a tiny bit because it runs a little bit too long in the middle. But I do like the fact that they kind of showcase the backstory with the witches and what happens there with the devil and stuff in the middle of the film, because it gives you the whole breakdown of what's happening and stuff. And the set pieces and the locations and the costumes and things used during that are just fantastic. They look really, really good and stuff. Yeah, really, really fun film. I think this one plays itself out really good. Another really cool thing about this film, they don't show the witch. I mean, they show it her in the shadows. They show the hands and stuff like that. They never get cheesy and show the face, and there's a lot of really good suspenseful scenes in this film too. Maybe like a little bit of jump scares and things like that, but these type of jump scares are different than the ones that they do now because you already know that they're coming. They're not just there, just like rapid fire and things like that new shitty Blair Witch film. But this one actually does work. The music fits very, very good in this film. One thing about this film I always loved is that the neighbor is like kind of like that crazy Ralph character. She won't leave her house. She knows that something's, you know, there's impending doom happening and things. She says that she can't go up there because she's not allowed and things like that. I like her character. She's like the worst actress in the world, though. It's terrible. Some of the lines that she delivers are outright fucking funny as hell, man. Some of the lines, I just was pissing myself laughing again. I was like, oh, this is why I love this movie. It's so great. But yeah, if you're into like witchcraft, kind of haunted house, supernatural slasher films, this one is for you because it's got vicious, nasty deaths in it. I absolutely love the deaths in this film. I think they're very creative and they're just punishing. You know, like I said, it holds no punches, doesn't give a fuck. They're willing to kill kids in this film. It's fantastic. It really, really is. But I think it does drag a little bit in the middle and stuff, but it has an awesome ending. And the very end of the film is awesome too. It's great. It's a vicious, awesome ending to the film. And again, they just weren't trying to fuck around with no Hollywood bullshit and stuff. They just went straight forward with this one. And yeah, awesome film. Cinematography, really well done too. I love the locations. Love the house that they use in this. It's just fantastic. So, but yeah, Superstition, without giving too much away, if I had to review this film, that's what I'm doing right now. If I had to rate this film, I'm going to give it a solid 7.5 out of 10. I think it's worthy of that. I think it could be a tad bit better in certain areas with character development and things like that, but ultimately it has all the elements that we want to see in a film. It's fun, and it's got a great ending. That's what it comes down to. So, but Superstition, 7.5 out of 10. Check it out. Hopefully this gets a re-release because this old original Anchor Bay DVD is long out of print and it's kind of hard to find nowadays for, you know, a decent price anyways. So, but if you can find it, check it out. It's fantastic. Really, really fun stuff. And yeah, there's the cough right there. Anyways, guys, I better get out of here before I start losing it. I will see you guys tomorrow in day 30, and I have no idea what I'm reviewing, so stick around for that. And as usual, peace!